Hi everyone, so this is going to be a really long video, so grab a cup of tea and let's just chat about everything that I've been loving in 2016. Let's start with a few skincare bits. I think 2016 has been a really good year in terms of skincare for me. I've wanted to try more, I've experimented with new things, and also just sort of really thought about my skincare, not so much about all these different steps that everybody says you need to do. It's more about what I'm doing, what's good for my skin in particular, because what might work, 10 steps that might work for one person, I could probably do in 3 or 4 maybe. So I think it's that balance of trying to figure out what's best for you and not spending too much money on all this stuff which we can get dragged into because we're told that we need to put this on and that on and do this and do that. So yeah, I think I have been really good with skincare this year and really actually enjoyed doing it, so that means I haven't missed it. Anyway, so the first thing obviously is the Earle Cleanse and Polish. This was in my 2015 favourites because it is just a classic. Whether I go to something more expensive or less expensive, which I have been doing this year, I will always come back to this and my skin will always immediately improve if there's been any difference. So yeah, really easy to use. You just squirt a bit in your hand, I massage it in and then massage it into my skin with a muslin cloth, take it off, and then go again, usually if I've got a face like this on. But if I have pretty much had a chilled out day and maybe just a bit of mascara, then I'll just do it the once and that's that. I think this year the noticeable change in my skincare has been I've been using more oils, and I sort of shied away from that in previous years just because this sort of area, like my T-zone and maybe a little bit of my chin, gets quite oily throughout the day, and I always thought that, you know, adding more oil to that isn't going to be the best thing for me. But I absolutely love and can't live without the Body Shop Oils of Life and Sunday Riley Luna. Both things, this is like my day one and obviously this is a night one, and both have worked really well. There's been a noticeable difference using this straight away. I was talking to my friend about it and I was like, nah, I'm not sure about it. But actually when I think to when I first started using it, there was a noticeable difference within the first couple of days, and it's very rare that you get that with a skincare product. And this is just one of those things that's quite cheap, so it's good, but also it does the job. And I think that's the important part. It doesn't matter how expensive skincare is or how cheap it is or whatever, as long as it does the job for you. So that was it in terms of skincare. I really condensed it down. There's been a few products that I have used every single day, but I haven't felt like they're like something that I would never ever stray from, whereas I think those products I will always return to even if I do decide to try some other bits and bobs. So yeah, that's it for skincare for 2016. Now we are going to move on to all important makeup, the thing that I absolutely love the most. So for foundation, there's only one that I've used pretty much the whole year, and it's the Rimmel Match Perfection. It's just really easy, again really cheap. I've tried Nars Sheer Glow and I do really like that, and that's like my special occasion foundation, but it's really expensive. And I just think when there's stuff like this out there that's just as good, and you may just need a more expensive powder or something like that, something that you wouldn't necessarily put on all the time so it lasts a bit longer. So I think if you've got something like this as a base that just sort of does the job and covers everything, then you can then start layering in things that maybe are a bit more expensive but you wouldn't use as much as your normal base. The next two are concealers, which I will always go back to. The Age Rewind by Maybelline is my absolute favourite for highlighting and just getting rid of those dark circles underneath the eyes. And then Nars Creamy Concealer is another one for dark circles underneath the eyes. This one is slightly pink for me, so it really does get rid of those dark circles and brightens everything up, makes me look more awake, so what more would you want? I tend to use them in combination, so this one first and then this to just brighten everything up a bit more because this is slightly darker. I love the Clinique Curvy Contour Stick. It's so easy to use, so easy to blend, and honestly it's probably one of the best things I've bought. I've probably used it every single day this year and it's not even gone down that much. Like the only time I wouldn't wear this is if I don't wear makeup at all. And because it's not an ashy colour, you can have more of like a bronzing effect rather than a contour effect, which I really, really like. And for highlight, this is honestly, I think this was in 2015 as well, and honestly my favourite, the Body Shop Honey Bronze in 01. And it is just this beautiful, beautiful highlighter. For a cream highlighter, it blends really lovely into your skin and just gives you that sort of lit from within sort of look, which everybody wants. You don't want, well, maybe you do, but I don't particularly want everything to be like, because yeah, I just don't really, that's not my thing. And I don't tend to wear lots and lots of makeup on a daily basis. So this is brilliant for a subtle but lovely highlight. And then I will tend to put powder on top of those products. So my favorite bronzer of literally all time is the Nars Laguna. I bought this a couple of months ago and I think I've used it pretty much every day since then. And yeah, I bought the extra big one. So I'm really, really happy that I did that now because I do use it every day and I really love it. It smells amazing and then also gives you this lovely bronzy sort of fresh holiday glow, which I tend to get quite pale in the winter, so that is perfect for me. And then to match that Body Shop highlight, the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed Powder, the Jaclyn Hill sort of collaboration, which is literally my all-time favourite highlighter at the moment. I can't say anything bad about it, apart from the fact that it's quite expensive. But this was a holiday purchase for me, so I was just like, oh, let's do it, and I'm so glad I did. And it does actually last quite a long time. I've used it probably every single day for the past 3 or 4 months, and it's not really touched it, to be honest. I was doing so well and having everything in order, but then I realised I forgot to do these. So I love the NIOD photography fluid. It's the 12% one, and it's just amazing under your foundation. I haven't actually used this in a while, but I remember the middle of the year, I used it all throughout summer, every single day. But I think because my natural summer glow's gone, I can't really get away with just using this, because this basically, you could get away with just having this on and nothing else, and you just have this gorgeous glow. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go back to this, but that is definitely something that I've used throughout all of 2016. Then also talking about losing my tan, I got this little sample size of the Cover Fix custom cover drops, and honestly, it's the best thing if you have to switch foundations like I do pretty much with the seasons. Then it's the best thing to do, because you just get a light foundation, and then in the summer you can just add 2 drops. In autumn and spring you can just add the 1, and then obviously you have your normal light matching sort of coloured foundation for the winter. So I would 100% recommend these if you are one of those people that has to switch foundations all the time. Now we can skip back to set everything. Once I've done my contour and my highlight and everything like that, I love the Laura Mercier translucent powder. It honestly just gives you the most perfect, flawless finish. It's unbelievable. So I don't use it that often because of the fact that there are sort of drugstore versions which aren't as good, I admit, but they're pretty close, and one of them is the NYX setting powder. So I will use this sort of my everyday, but this is honestly my favourite powder, so it had to be mentioned, even though it's not an everyday use. It's definitely one that I use on special occasions, or if I'm filming and I want everything to look flawless, maybe I've got a few blemishes or whatever, and this does the job. But like I said, this is another really good one. It's the HD finishing powder, so it's more of that banana sort of tone, so you have to be quite careful when applying it. You can't put it on really thick, but it's great for baking or anything like that, if that's something that you want to do. I don't really do a lot with my brows, but when I do, I will always go to the Anastasia Dip Brow. It's the most amazing product I've ever come across. I don't use it every day because I think I don't want a strong brow every day, and my brows aren't too bad, so I can sometimes just use the Rimmel Brow This Way like I have today, just brush it through and then done. But this is one of those things that if I'm going out, or it's a special occasion, or I want to film something in particular, this is awesome. And I just use it with a little tiny like slanted brush and just swipe it through. I think I've got a video on my Instagram already. If not, there's one coming very soon, so follow me there and you'll get a full brow routine. For mascara this year, these two have been my winner combination. So it's the Rimmel Extra 3D Lash and then the Mega Volume Miss Hippie by L'Oreal Paris. This is the one that I use first, so I just brush them through because it's a sort of quite hard brush. It brushes everything through nicely, separates all the lashes really lovely, and just a really light, I would say, coat of mascara, which is always great. And if I don't really want to put that much makeup on, just want a quick swipe, this is definitely the one that I would use. And then I pop this on top, and this volumizes like crazy. I've got quite long lashes, but the ends are quite blonde. So if I put this on, and then with my, once the blonde tips get dyed black or brown, whatever mascara I'm using, yeah, it's good. It is really good. And in combination with this sort of brush and then this volume, a killer, honestly. If you are looking for a new mascara combination, try them. We'll move on to lips, which this year I have a lot of lip stuff. Very Victoria by Charlotte Tilbury. I think that was in my favourites last year. And it's just a classic for me. I have probably worn it to death almost. And it's so comfortable to wear. I put it on yesterday, barely noticed it was there, and pretty much went through the whole day without having to top it up too much. It wears nicely, and there's just too many nice things I could say about it. This year for me has been the year of lip liners, and there's two MAC ones which I really love. It's Stone for more of like a cold sort of lip colour. That sounds really horrible, but it's nice, trust me. For more of like a cold lip colour, I'll put Stone on, and then maybe put a warmer liquid lipstick on top. And then also Well, and Spice is another one. Well's sort of more of a pinky colour, and Spice is quite similar to the colour, but more of a spice type colour, like orangey. So those three I love. In terms of really affordable liquid lipsticks, the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in London has been one of the ones that I've worn pretty much almost every single day. I really love it. It's so affordable, like I said, and it's such a comfortable liquid lipstick, considering it's less than £10 and wears really well, all that sort of stuff. It's not drying, and I think that's a thing that I struggle with liquid lipsticks. I love them, but my lips will suffer a lot the day after, whereas this doesn't do that. And especially with something like MAC Well underneath it, it will literally last forever. Let's just say the brand I've been loving, because it's not just this colour that I've loved. It's the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte lipsticks, and this one is in Venus. It's so beautiful and probably one of my favourite. It goes on and it feels quite wet and weird and sort of minty, and then it dries and it's so comfortable. You don't even notice it's there. So while we're on lips, we can talk about the Clarins lip oil, which I've had for a while now and just love it. It's one of those things that you probably would never put in a favourites video because you just sort of wear it and that's that. It's a lip balm almost, but yeah, it's insane. It plumps up your lips as well, which it actually does, because I didn't really believe it when the woman said to me. I've used it before for like a month, and just not for that reason, but someone has said to me, oh, have you had lip fillers? And I haven't, never. So yeah, I do really like this. And I think my final makeup bit is the L'Oreal Superliner. I am a massive fan of cat eye sort of flicks and love them. So this is the only one. It's so easy. The tip is so thin that you can just like slot it in, wiggle it around, and don't even really have to swipe it across. You can just press it slowly. The tip's so thin that you'll just get a really lovely thin line across there, and it just thickens up your lashes.